Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem from Kakadash. Double honors, the elders and apostles, the great millstone, who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakims out there in the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem from Kakadash, Brachatan. So, be sure to follow me on BitChute, where my videos can be a little bit longer, going into more detail. As YouTube, you're kind of limited to what you can talk about. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff coming from the poop chute, aka the mainstream, because they're pushing the Delta variant, and just like Donald Trump tested positive, now they're saying Pelosi aide to test positive for the Chinese virus after attending an event together. Because this is their ploy to blame the unvaccinated for all the vaccinated for getting the Chinese virus, the Delta variant, and the newer mutations that they'll just make up. Check this out.
What we've seen over time is a very rapid increase in the number of Delta variant cases.
He even sounds like
These
a
high
faggot,
viral
doesn't
loads,
he?
combined with low vaccination rates, are creating a potentially very dangerous situation for our state. And the only way to stop it from progressing is to get vaccinated. People who are vaccinated are safe without the masks, but we always want to be cautious, especially with these new variants, because we do not know
See how the propaganda from the poop
chute? What's going to come next. With our low vaccination rate and this rapid increase
so you see Esau's coming at you with everything.
I fear that there could be a new variant that is actually formed here in Alabama.
And we told you, though, that they would make up new variants after the Delta variant. So that's what's going on, Yeah, see, there it is. Yesterday, a fully vaccinated White House official tested positive for the Chinese virus off campus. The White House official stated in a statement the staffer is self-isolating according to rigorous Crown Royal protocols, the official said. So pretty much they're going to blame the unvaccinated for it. You see where this is going, because they plan to have everything locked down by the fall. So if you're here for the fall, be ready for the lockdown. While most people, they don't think there's going to be another lockdown, there is. Twitter imposes a 12-hour timeout on Marjorie Taylor Greene over Crown Royal treats. See, the censorship's getting bigger and bigger, so, you can. So again, Twitter is giving Republican majority Taylor Greene a 12-hour timeout, saying some of the Georgia Republicans' tweets violated the so-called media site misinformation. Kind of like the bullshit here on YouTube. You can't really say too much because, oh no, you gave some misinformation. We gotta fuck you in the ass a little bit more. These goddamn anal fucking pieces of shit. That's why I hardly come on this poop shoot of YouTube, and I'm usually there on BitChute. Where you can talk about things a little better. Double trouble. Wildfire smoke could boost odds for what? The Chinese virus spread. So they got to fill you with that. Oh no, this can also spread the Chinese virus. Breathing in smoke from wildfires may significantly increase the spread of the Chinese virus, researchers say. The warning from a new study comes between the smoke-caused air pollution and SARS-CoV-2 comes as firefighters battle 80 large fires in the western United States. The largest 300 miles south of Portland. So they really... So wildfire also spreads COVID, right? Green gets 12-hour Twitter suspension over Crown Royal misinformation. Same thing I just read earlier. I guess I pulled it up twice. Federal judge will not block Indiana University's vaccine mandates. So, fuck college anyways. What are they going to teach you? That America's great and all this shit when you know it isn't. America sucks. And you can't teach that. Indiana University vaccine requirement for students and employees will remain in place after a federal judge declined to issue a preliminary injunction against the policy. So, if you ain't got the injection, you might not learn about bullshit. If you haven't figured out that you're in a world full of shit. People are still assholes anyways. Why are Soros and Gates buying UK COVID testing company? Well, because maybe they're part of the pandemic to begin with. You know, it seems to fund everything that they want. A consortium of investors led by the Soros Economic Development Fund and the Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation are buying UK-based Crown Royal testing company Mologic, which has developed a 10-minute CV test and is best known for its deep nostril swab test for the, you know, made-up virus. Is this why a child doctors group suddenly demanded all kids over 2 wear masks at school? Yeah, so this anal expert here, you know, because they teach you how to sodomize, you know, now says this. The American Academy of Pediatrics wants all kids masked until vaccinated. Let's go to the website and see who the biggest donor is. Huh, Pfizer. Yeah, and they want to make sure you get them booster shots. The group, which has 67,000 members in primary care, announced that even if kids have been vaccinated, they should still be forced to wear the masks. So, dark sarcasm in the classroom. Hey, another brick in the wall shows you the kids wearing masks, by the way, if you watch that old Pink Floyd video. Vaccinated Pelosi aide, White House official who welcomed fugitive Texas Democrats test positive for Crown Royal. And another White House tested positive for the Crown Royal. See, so they, you know, got to cook this all up again because, you know, everybody's got it now. So we got to blame the unvaccinated for the vaccinated getting it, right? You know, which you know that they're false positives. But you can't talk about that too much here. Watch protesters brutally beaten and arrested by police on UK Freedom Day. You know, like so-called 4th of July. Yeah, there's freedom, all right. You have the right to remain silent. That's pretty much it. You can't speak against stuff anymore, you know? Yeah. You're finding out that you were never free to begin with. So, yeah, your so-called Freedom Day. You think that this ain't gonna come over here? Yeah, exactly, man. Barely makes the news anymore now that these people have been completely dehumanized. Yeah, okay, so here it is right here. I have to go directly to Twitter in order to pick this video up, so... Of broken glass. Kill the fucker. He's wanted to know. Kill him. Hey, it's what's coming over here. This will happen to you if you go over your water consumption. During the drought, folks. It's coming to America. You can't outrun the long arm of the law. Yeah, people over here are in a daze. They don't think that this will ever come to Babylon. Tokyo Olympic bubble compromise as Crown Royal case counts 71. With Tokyo Olympics set to start Friday, the negative headlines continue to pile up. Thanks to bans of spectators on the ongoing state of emergency. Oh, everything's a state of emergency now. Don't you know? So what's the real emergency? Nothing! 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 Dozens of staff and athletes have already tested positive. The false positives, The rigged test. Outside the Crown Royal headlines, a Ugandan weightlifter has gone missing. Now Reuters reports that the isolation bubble system put in place to house the athletes in the Olympic Village has been compromised. Oh no, it's been contaminated. They might just cancel that shit. Panic! Taco Bell and Starbucks warn about shortages. Yeah, so your little favorite creamers or your sauces. They got rid of the Verde sauce. That was the one I actually liked. You might not be able to find fire sauce or Diablo sauce anymore. Supply chain problems continue to plague the restaurant industry, leading big chains Taco Bell and Starbucks to warn consumers on Monday that some items may not be available. Which this whole shortage is a hoax. They're doing this on purpose. Why? Because they're ready to lock it down. And here we go. More from the poop shoot. Can employers require employees to get vaccinated? Plus answers to other legal questions as we return to the office. Well, only dumb people would actually want to work for a place that would, go there. And I ain't working anymore. Take this job and fuck you. I ain't working here no more. As many companies begin to reopen offices and bring employees back in, many are requiring the employees to be fully vaccinated. But can companies actually require that of their employees from a legal standpoint? And what pitfalls employers need to be aware of while navigating this tumultuous time? Well, that's just it. You got these Amalekites defending their right to force it on you. So, I don't even got to read that, right? Mask mandates make a return along with controversy. 2 months after the CDC and prevention said vaccinated individuals didn't need to wear masks in most settings, a growing number of experts are warning it's time to put them back on. Yep, gotta be fully retarded. Not just a little retarded, but you gotta go full on retard. For these, there was Los Angeles County where the rising menace posed by the Delta variant of the Crown Royal prompted health officials to reimpose mask mandate. Resuming wearing masks indoors, mask mandates are being discussed too. In the Crown Royal hotspots such as Arkansas and Missouri, where cases have been sharply increased in recent weeks and many residents remain unvaccinated. See? So guess who's going to get the blame for this? The unvaccinated, right? Well, I guess they have a video for us. Maybe I should check this out.
COVID-19 infections. The latest signal that health officials are grappling with an alarming rise in coronavirus cases tied to the highly contagious Delta variant.
This daily increase.
Dr. Muntu Davis of the LA County Health Department on Thursday said he was seeing substantial community transmission of COVID-19 and that the requirement to mask up indoors applies whether you've been vaccinated.
We fucking hate you.
Masking indoors must again become a normal practice by all, regardless of vaccination status, so that we can stop the trends and level of transmission we're currently seeing.
LA County is home to 10 million people and the nation's second largest city, Los Angeles. It's one of several jurisdictions to recommend or mandate wearing masks or other pandemic restrictions in recent days as cases rise to worrisome levels in many parts of the United States. U.S. cases of COVID-19 are up 70% over the previous week, and deaths are up 26%.
Yesterday, CDC reported more than 33,000.
Eat horse shit! Yeah, I'm fucking tired of that cunt. Belgium holds day of mourning for flood victims. Yeah, you deserve to die, you bastards. You deserve it, each and every one of you. Fuck all of you. Well, I guess this video won't. Oh, well, no wonder why. Yeah, Esau doesn't really like it when you try to play press TV, but maybe I could just get some video anyway. No, it's not going to let me, so don't like it. Well, thought I might be able to, but I can still read from here, though. Russia successfully test fires S-500 missile system. Russia says it has successfully test-fired its new S-500 air defense missile system in a training exercise at a training range and struck a fast-moving ballistic target with accuracy. So these S-500s are ready. You already know what the S-400s and S-300s can do. You've seen Syria take out, those Tomahawk cruise missiles. The U.S. hegemonic doctrine shift from invasion to violent extremism. To restore its lost hegemonic domination over Latin America, Western Asia, and other parts of the world, especially in the face of newly emerging powers, the United States cannot anymore resorting to brute force like that of invasions of Afghanistan or Iraq with economic difficulties and consequently the rise of far-right populism among constituencies of the so-called liberal international order is now more facial to make sense of the phrase where globalism attempts, the hegemon might find itself dying in the attempt to dominate or partly dominating and living a life worse than death. So their hegemonic powers ain't there anymore, America has become as weak as they, because let's face it though, the only terrorist in the Middle East is the United States and its allies, because you see what their depleted uranium does. Who uses weapons of mass destruction? The United States. These were dropped in Fallujah and other places, and they just the terrorists seem to always get that. I wonder why that is. Yeah, well, here we go. Get it right from the source. Despite claims U.S.-led aggression forces support protect terrorism, Syria parliament speaker, because, again, America protects and arms the terrorists. Speaker of Syrian People's Assembly says forces of global aggression led by the United States besieged Syria and Iran together under the false guise of fighting terrorism. But in fact, they support and protect the scourge. That's right. And eventually America's going to pay for all this. U.S. Air Force to deploy quarter of F-22 stealth fighter jets to the Pacific and show of force, so now they're going to start talking more tough against China. The United States Air Force is deploying over 24 F-22 stealth fighters to an exercise in the Western Pacific this month. So making their moves against Russia and China, to try and scare them. I bet they're really scared with their S-500 systems, aren't they? Yeah, that'll put fear into them. And of course, if you hadn't guessed, Israeli state has been bombing Syria in the last 24 hours. Army air defenses confront Israeli missile aggression in Asra region in the Aleppo countryside. So there is a video here, so let's just go ahead and play it. Ain't much of a long video, but you can see though that their S-300s can definitely stop the Israeli aggression. But there's even more to that. Israel shells southern Lebanon after airstrikes target Aleppo in Syria, so they're also bombing two countries, so they're bombing Lebanon as well. The Israeli military has fired artillery shells in southern Lebanon shortly after the regime's aircraft launched a number of missiles at targets near the northwestern Syrian city of Aleppo. The Israeli army said in a statement that 2 rockets had been fired from Lebanon at northern part of the occupied territories early Tuesday morning, setting off warning sirens in the western Galilee region. So, pretty much, man, they're bombing two countries. And like everything else, though, Syrian air defenses thwart attack on Damascus. So here's another picture from that, because the video doesn't really show a whole lot, except you see that it got it. Syrian air defenses have neutralized the latest Israeli attack against the western outskirts of Damascus. So they were also bombing Damascus as well. So you and I both know, though, that this is eventually going to lead to the Israeli Prime Minister said that he was going to wipe Damascus off the face of the map, which is biblical. Syria warns of serious repercussions after Israeli launches airstrike on Aleppo. So, yeah, of course they're going to fight back, and this is going to lead to the prophecy being fulfilled. Syria has warned the Israeli regime of serious repercussions of unrelenting military attacks against a war-torn country, saying such acts of aggression will not dissuade Syrian forces from battling Israeli-backed militant groups. In a statement on Tuesday, the Syrian Foreign Ministry said the Israeli regime forces late on Monday launched an aerial attack targeting positions in the El Safra area in the northern province of Aleppo, near the Turkish border. The attack was successfully intercepted by Syria's air defenses, which downed most of the missiles. The statement added that the aerial aggression by Tel Aviv coincided with missile attacks by al-Nusra Front terrorists in part of Aleppo and north of Hama province, lying on the banks of the Ordonos River. So, and we've seen that part already. Which leads me here, you know, with all the things that have been going on between both the Crown Royal hoax, the Mark of the Beast about to be made mandatory very shortly here, you know, via vaccine mandates, and the fact that you ain't going to be able to go anywhere very soon. They're going to lock everything down. Well, that's going to lead to this war that's already breaking out, to where this prophecy happens, and at the same time, Babylon will be destroyed. And so, we're here for the fall. We can't wait to see you devils destroyed, man. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20, it reads, Therefore hear the counsel of the Most High that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes in the high place of Edom is Babylon the Great, America, that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock, talking about Amalek, the Israeli state, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So, you know, Tel Aviv is going to be blown off the face of the map, as well as Babylon. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Yeah, they're going to hear a lot of people screaming miles away, you know, because that's oceans away. But they're going to hear it when Babylon is consumed by nuclear fire. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs, which is talking about the nuclear destruction that's coming. And at the same time, concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded, and Arpad, that's the Middle East and North Africa. For they have heard evil tidings, you know, and again it was descriptive of that by the Red Sea. They are faint-hearted, there is sorrow on the sea, and it cannot be quiet. Damascus is waxed feeble and turns herself to flee, and fear has seized on her, anguish and sorrows have taken her as a woman in travail. You know, again, this is at the same time when Babylon's being destroyed, because it is at least the flock Amalek that does this. Makes their habitations desolate with them, just like the prior verse says in verse 20. So, at the same time, you know, when this is going on, you know, we got even more. Isaiah went into it. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap, by way of that nuclear destruction. The cities of Aurora are forsaken, for they shall be flocks which shall lie down, none shall make them afraid. You know, and Aurora is another term for the Middle East there. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus. Okay, at the same time, you know, which this happened a long time ago, but you got to remember, Isaiah saw into the future, and at that time, Ephraim, you know, was still, they hadn't ceased from being Ephraim. That is, the northern kingdom and southern kingdom were still together when Isaiah saw this, but eventually the northern kingdom would also be in captivity, you know, thus getting into what's happening now, you know. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom are oppressed together. And the kingdom from Damascus and the remnant of Syria, it shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith the Most High of Hosts. You know? So, at the same time, man, you know, a lot of things are going to be taking place, you know. World War III is inevitable. this prophecy will come to pass, and at the time it comes to pass, Babylon the Great will also be taken in the same hour that Syria is taken. So, when you see more articles on Syria, just know you're getting closer. When you see more chariots in the sky, the angels, just know we're getting closer. When you see more legislation for lockdowns and for vaccine pushes and for digital dollars, digital wallet, cryptocurrency, and things going cashless, you know that the hour is drawing near. So I hope all this has been edifying like everything else. So I'll have a longer length of this on BitChute the next day or so. So look for it there, you know. Like I said, nothing's permanent on YouTube. So just look for me on BitChute. Links in the description box. For that I want to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Wa Abba Babal. And Barakatum Yehovah Elect. Shalom.